you know, because I have experience where they'll give you the cold shoulder and they still want you. Right. So just because they say
Yeah.
they love you
Yeah.
doesn't really mean they're going to give you a job. And just because they don't talk
Yeah.
to you or ghost you doesn't
Right.
mean you didn't get it either. Like, so it's one of those, you just keep with the process, trust the process, trust the studying, trust that you're trying to get grounded in their language, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm coming from. So yes, yes,
Right.
good job, Nick.
Thank
Yay,
you.
yay.
Appreciate
And
it.
then also I was gonna give folks a shout out that Nick has helped invite me back to a January 27th talk for the Sophie group members. So I did put
I
a
have the
post.
flyer.
Do you have the flyer?
Yeah. I just
If
put
you
it in
could
the
put it,
chat.
yeah, you could put it in the chat. So in January, save the
Yeah.
date, I'll be
Did I send you the flyer?
doing a talk. You did. Yeah, 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 you did. But I put it on
Okay.
social media for now. Just letting
Okay.
folks know that I will be doing a more deep dive into how to survive the job market ahead and what we've learned in
I
2025.
need a helmet for that. Just kidding.
No, I mean it's going to be a good way to kind of I think start the year. So I was just
Yeah,
wanting to thank
that's
you,
kind
Nick.
of what I wanted. I wanted to start everybody off who's looking for work like me, recent grads, students, professionals who've been laid off. Just get them on the right foot, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and
You
this
need
year this
something health, something positive.
yeah, and this
You
year
know what I
really
mean?
jilted us. I think this year really jilted us. So I think I really appreciate that Sophie and you and others are aware like this is a conversation we need to have. Pretty much top of the
Hmm.
year, top of the year. So
Top of the
all
year.
right. Yeah,
It's here
yeah.
already.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Good luck with everything and email me whatever you need in the meantime.
Okay, I will. I'm
Okay,
gonna look for that
yeah.
posting.
Yeah. Okay, great. Any other updates? Anyone else want to share or has questions?
Hi, Zoila. I'm
Hi.
Neeti. I'm a newcomer. Can
Hi,
you hear me?
welcome. Yes, how do you say your name?
Neeti.
Niati. Very pretty. Well, welcome to the
Yeah,
hired community.
thank
How
you.
can I help you? What's going on?
I'm sorry, also my video is not working, but
Oh, it's okay. I'm usually the only one on video, just so that you know I'm real and I'm here. But go ahead.
so I have an unexpected interview, like initial screening interview slash like initial conversation with this company called Relevant Healthcare. They're like a small like software engineering company, and my background's in public health and statistics. I have a bachelor's in public health and statistics. I guess my first question is like they requested SQL experience, and I have only really worked with SQL with like very simple dashboards and Tableau, and like
Okay.
I don't know like if I'm really prepared for the interview. I mean I'm gonna be looking at YouTube tutorials on like how to like get SQL I don't know, at least get the verbiage down for the interview, but I think it's a senior analytics position and I'm feel really underqualified for it. Um,
Okay.
so
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, good for you for getting an interview and getting a call back. That's amazing. I think something I try to remind all of you guys is that every interview is practice. So even if this one feels like, I don't know if maybe I'm a little too over my head, it's still a good way to practice how to stay grounded in the language and even simple principles of like never say never, never say I've never done that, or like going to your SQL question, like if they ask you, you know, tell us your experience in SQL, it could be very open, right? In SQL,
Yeah.
and you would have to simply say like, oh, I've been exposed to it in these ways, I'm proficient in it. But that's usually the trap is where you just go to that. Instead, you need to take a step back and frame your response, the three-pronged winning response in the masterclass. If you go to lesson 103, it'll remind you that it's framing it, giving a relevant example that they would want to hear about, the how did you do that? And then include others in your example. So if you worked with your boss on something around SQL, that would be fine. So most of us want to start in
Got
the
it.
middle when
Okay.
you respond, but take a step back and appreciate what else, what have you done with data analysis overall, right? The question is,
Hmm.
what's your experience in SQL? You can start off instead by saying, you know, I've really been a part of significant data analysis and data management in my career, also studying in it. I'm really passionate about data management, not just with SQL, but also Stata, SPSS, Tableau, ArcGIS. Like you can say
Hmm.
the rainbow or the breadth of like your skills in relation to what they're asking before you tell them. But in particular, this is what I've done with SQL,
Okay.
right? So
Got it.
framing will help you not feel so underqualified, and it'll help you practice really appreciating like what you bring to the table, and that maybe they'll hear, oh wow, she's done like all of these 4 other softwares. If she feels a little wobbly on SQL, I'm sure she could like,
Yeah.
I'm sure she could pick that up with some more training. So
Hmm.
I think that's part of it, is don't just jump to the no, I've never done that. And that's part of the studying the job announcement, the way that I teach you in lesson 103 of the master class, is it's okay when you realize, oh, I haven't done that one thing, right? When you see it in the
Hmm.
job announcement. But that doesn't mean you then just sit there and hope that they never ask you that. You have to
Right.
instead ask
Yeah.
yourself, if they were to ask, if they wanted to know like my experience in contracts management or financial management or a space I've never done, you do have to take a beat
Hmm.
and kind of frame it in a way where it's like, oh, I've supported partnerships in this way, and I've supported program management in this way. And then you kind of, it's almost like letting them down gently without them realizing that you're letting them down gently, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like you don't want them to know that you're not like the expert, but you know all of these other things and you're ready and
Yeah.
willing, right? So practice that. That would be my recommendation. Practice the framing, the relevant example, and mentioning others. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
Yeah.
so
You'll
much.
do fine. Yeah. And
You.
all interviews, as much as I help you guys prepare, I just want you all to know that the nervousness and the excitement and like that doesn't ever really fully go away. I think
Hmm.
even I'm I even I still get nervous. Everyone still gets nervous when you're interviewing, but the goal is to remind yourself that that nervousness is because you're excited and you worked so hard to get here and you really want this, and to not let it override to
Hmm.
fear. So stay at the excitement, but level-headed enough to study, but not to the point of fear. Just be like, okay, critical thinking, critical thinking. If we don't stay in the critical thinking, this is part of the lesson. You'll see a visual, or if you don't stay in the critical thinking in the prefrontal cortex in your front lobe, you stay in the back lobe, which is survival mode. The fear takes over,
Yeah.
the fight or flight happens. That's where we're at. And so the only way to combat that is to stay in the critical thinking, to stay in the studying. That's why I want Nick, hi Nick, that's why I want him to go find a job announcement to ground yourself. Because if you're just assuming like, I don't know, I think this is what they're like, I want the grounding to happen for him. So that way he can put his his hat on and think about like, okay, if they ask me this and if they ask me that, and not let the fear and the wonder, let him run that way. So that's part of it, is the critical thinking, the practice. And all interviews are practice, because even if they like you for the first, second round, there could be a third round. There could be a fourth round. There could be an assignment. Right, Nick? He's like, oh yeah, they keep going. They keep going. So if you don't know what you're doing, like if you don't know how you showed up and why, oh my God, what was that? Like, what did I do right? What do I need to keep doing right? Then you're going to continue to be confused. So just keep practicing. And welcome. When did you sign up? How long have you been?
A few weeks ago,
Oh, wow.
in
Yay. Yeah.
in desperation,
Oh,
in
no.
desperation. Yeah.
No. This is a support
Yeah.
group. This is a safety net. Everyone here is also
Thank
looking for work.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're welcome to introduce yourself in the chat if you want to put your LinkedIn URL or, where you're located, just so folks know who you are. But welcome. And I'm here every Tuesday. This is usually open-ended. On occasion, I'll have workshops. I was going to announce some workshops coming up in a little bit. We're already halfway in. So just so you know, like this is kind of the best way to stay plugged in into what's going on, is the office hours. But you also can
You
DM
said,
me. Go ahead.
sorry, you said 103, lesson 103 is what
Yeah,
I
lesson
should
103 in your
really.
master class is the interview prep.
Okay.
And then you will find case studies that you can hear me prepping someone through a job interview, and then they got the job after that. So there's some case studies, but lesson 103 is like the actual tool of interview prep known as total recall. Total recall interview prep is what I talk about. So you'll learn more about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
welcome. Yeah, good luck with your interviews. Cheering you on. I love it. You guys are interviewing. Yay. Yay. That means the offers are next. First you find the job, then you apply to the job, then you interview, then
Baby steps, baby steps.
it's the hired steps. Hired steps.
Yes, the hired steps. Exactly.
Love it. I love it. Okay, we have time for maybe one more question and update, and then I'll give my updates. I want to give, there's like a good 16 of us on here, so I want to give you guys time. I haven't checked the chat, so if someone submitted a question, I've completely.
Hi, I have a quick question.
Hey, Kim.
What do you think about jobs on LinkedIn that have been reposted? I just saw one that I'm really interested in, but it says reposted 5 hours ago. And I don't know how long it's been up.
The rule is the fresher the better. Apply within 7 to 10 days. I mean, even better, sooner, even better. Reposted, it's fine. I feel like I have seen people have told me like they'll apply to something they applied to before and just resubmit, and they have gotten called back. So the repost let them resubmit and they got the call back the second time. So I've heard that happen too. So it's almost like, do you want to apply? Is it that meaningful? If the repost was just yesterday, that's fine. But if the repost was 2 weeks ago, pass. So yeah, I would say just keep it within the best practice of 24 hours to 7 days, which means you're submitting at the latest around the 10-day mark. Why does this help? Why does this help? Why does this help? It is because from my experience, when I started to let go of old job postings, not only from the tailoring, but also I got ahead of the line. Actually, this is the best example. It puts you at the first of the line. They're basically lining you up, right? And so if you submit within that first week window of them posting, then they have their stack of their initial submission. And I like to remind you guys that for my Kaiser job that I just quit a year ago because of public health hired, thank you, I actually was passed up for their first round interviews. So when I had applied, just the way that I teach you guys to apply, I could have sworn I was going to get a call back, and I didn't. I got 3 months of silence. But when the recruiter finally called me, she said, "Hey, we're still looking for someone for this position." And they went back to their applications and pulled yours. Okay. So they were not reopening the position. They had decided to be like, you know what? We've already interviewed the first round. We didn't find anyone we liked. Let's see if let's go back to that first pile. So that's how I was selected. It wasn't because they had reposted it, or it wasn't because I was just sitting on a pile. Okay, so get in front of the line is the goal. That's the way I try to see it. Even if you're still sitting in the line, right? It's like you're waiting for concert tickets. Well, no one's gonna well, you're right. The 10th in line. Maybe it takes 3 months to get your ticket, but no one's gonna pass you up. So I think
I see. Okay.
That's the mindset. Yeah. Yeah. So you decide what that means to you. Yeah, you're welcome. Great question. I forget why certain principles are the way they are, but this reminds me of it does make a difference. And for those of you who've started to apply to fresher jobs, I think you can testify to the same of like, yeah, the old ones are just stale. It's like stale bread. It's like old fish. It's like, just let it go. If it's really cool and it's like, oh my God, I have to apply to this. Okay, great. But my problem is that when it's a habit, like you're just like taking whatever. I remember I used to take whatever, 60 days old, 30 days old. I was like, oh my God, yes, 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 yes. But the callbacks are very rare, if ever, when they're so stale. So just keep that in mind. Sandra, I see you have your lab on state applications helped me so much. I have my first interview this week, Sandra.
I'm so excited and nervous. This is my the first time I ever applied for a state job. So thank you for even, I mean, I didn't think it even occurred to me until that.
Yeah. Is it like HPS1? Is it AGPA? Is it scientist? What?
It's with the CDFA, the California Department of Farm and Agriculture, but
Like,
it's
what's
like
the
an
title?
analyst.
Oh,
I know,
Anna. Okay.
I was trying to remember what
Is
the
it
title
AGPA?
was. I think so, yes.
Associate Governmental
That
Program
sounds right.
Analyst. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds right. Yes.
Yay. Yeah. AGPA is a
Yeah.
good entry for the state. Great,
And
great, great.
the first one is 30 minutes. So I was curious, like what to expect from, I mean, is it just kind of a screening? Since it's so short and it's with two people, I believe.
No, yeah, it's an interview. All screenings are interviews, all contact with
Right.
companies afterwards are interviews. They might try to keep, now the thing is they do try to keep, what I love about government is they try to be efficient because they can't afford 3, 4 rounds of interviews. So other companies have that luxury, but government tries to keep it to 1, 2 tops, 2 tops.
Oh,
Like
that's
you
good.
will not expect 3, 4 rounds from them, which is nice. So even screening
Okay.
calls could technically be enough for them to be like, okay, we've heard enough. So I would say take it as even just one interview, especially if they have 2 people on, that to them is a panel. That's enough of a panel.
Right. Right.
So I would say expect questions. So remind me, it's for farm and agriculture,
Right.
AGPA. I would say questions around providing technical assistance, providing like how do you provide support administratively for teams? How are you proactive in that way? Also, AGPA analysis, program analysis, anything around trends, assessments, community needs assessments.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's focused like a lot on like community outreach with like migrant communities, like farming communities, and then
Perfect.
so it's across like three
Perfect.
counties.
Perfect.
So
Yes.
that's
Okay.
yeah.
So then they'll want to know how, experience in certain communities, if you've worked with migrant farm workers, how you've worked with
Right,
them, how you work not only with them, but with organizations that serve them. Keep in mind at the state level,
right,
they're trying to work with more partners. To them, it's partner driven, right? So they push money down, they push tools down, they advocate, they mobilize. So that's the influence of government. So that's where they'll come from is what's your experience in, partnership development. Not that that's what an analyst will do. I think some of this might be more, I don't want to drill you to like a HPS1 level where they would expect more of like the planning and development. But I think knowing that this is an analyst
hmm,
level, they still want you to have awareness of the communities you're serving, right? They don't want someone who's like, oh, I don't know, like what these counties entail and who they are. Like, for example, they might ask you, what's your experience
right.
working in rural versus urban populations, right? How
Okay,
have you served
that's a good question.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
rural versus urban. And so they might want to know, like, can she handle working in more rural communities? So you have to have some sense making around that. So that would be my suggestion for you. And then, I mean, I know that AGPA job description is hefty.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it is.
so it's all
I'm
fair
carrying it
game
around with
though.
me.
I know. Good. Yes, you should. And a journal so that you're writing or taking notes
Yes.
on your phone, however you want to do it. Yeah. But I think the more you practice, again, every interview is practice, the framing, the relevant example, and title dropping, showing that you can respect your colleagues, know your role, know how to give credit where credit is due, that kind of thing. That will come off nicely in your responses if you practice. So, yeah, I mean, the interview
Thank
callback is
you.
a
Thank
win.
you.
Congrats. Yeah. And if anything, you know that if you want to keep applying,
Yeah,
you know what you're doing. Yay.
right.
Those
I
applications are
know. That's the
hefty.
best part.
Yeah, those applications
They
are
are. It was
crazy.
intimidating. So it
Yes.
was intimidating, I think, before your workshop. I was like just I think
Yay.
I would look at all the things you have to submit and it was a little intimidating. So thank
Yeah,
you
all
so
the pieces.
thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome. I
Hmm.
know. I want to
Yeah.
redo that workshop more so because you remember I didn't record it. Oh my God,
Oh, that's
the
right.
trauma still
Okay.
lives with me, Sandra, that I didn't
Oh
record that
no.
one.
It was good
It
too,
was
but I'm
good. It
sure
was
next one
so
will be better.
good. I know. It reminds me that maybe I should just do it again. I'll just do it again, so it's fine. But congrats. And I'm
Yes.
here for you. I'm here for
Thank
you.
you.
I'm cheering you guys on. I love to hear the
Thank
progress.
you.
So maybe I don't see any other questions. Amanda, you may have already done this. Could you search online for similar roles for other companies for examples of potential duties? Amanda, was that about Nicholas's situation? Maybe that was already addressed. I'm just going back to this to make sure I didn't. Chances are you're for, okay, you just were adding. Okay. Doesn't matter what time of day you apply, Kimberly. Yes and no. I say it's more of the days. So I think you should apply sooner in the week. Monday, Tuesday is good. Fridays is a no. But I do know jobs are being pulled fast. So it's up to you to also feel. Lately, I've been telling my mentees just apply because some of the jobs we've been seeing them pulled and I just don't want them to happen to them. So if you can, ideally push for Monday, Tuesday. Even Sunday night is fine. Sunday night, Monday morning, you're top of the list, fresh eyes, they're back to work, they're ready to start hiring. So that's why I like Monday mornings. But if you have to submit Friday because you see that it's been posted a week already and you feel like it's going to go, just submit. So I rather you submit than wait around. That's my suggestion. Okay, so I'm so happy to hear that people are interviewing. I have some good news and some bad news to share on that regard. So I have basically been wanting to prepare for the mentorship to open up. As all of you know, the mentorship is something I open up about twice a year. It is the more exclusive package where I meet with you one-on-one on a weekly basis. We talk about job searching. We do even resume and cover letter tailoring and interview prep until you get a job. It's been very well received by you guys that I'm pretty much capped. What that means is, even though I haven't opened up enrollment, I had people come back because they had paused it, because they had babies, they were at school, they were going through family troubles, but they all seemed to pause it and then come back at the same time because of all the changes they've been seeing in the news, or they're done with their May celebrations and now they're like, oh my gosh, it's already end of the year, realizing I need to work with Zoila now. So the mentees who had paused their mentorship decided to start their mentorship. And then those who've worked with me in the past who've been laid off, unfortunately, were laid off because we're on good terms and I helped them get their jobs. They asked to rejoin the mentorship and I allowed it because we have good standings. And basically, I realized, oh my God, I don't think I have space for new mentees because people have come back and people have stopped the pause that they had. So all of this to say that I'm happy to be there for my mentees who trust me and helping them get through these tough times. Great. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging because I know a lot of you want to still work with me, especially as you're trying to get through, the end of this employment process. So what I've decided is to offer something that I think is a good compromise, where it's going to be a hired mini mentorship. It's a mini mentorship and it's only for interviews. It's only for interviews. So that's the good news. It's going to be at a lower price and it's going to be no weekly Zooms. It's only exclusive for interviews. So for all of you who've already been telling me you're getting interviews, yay, yay, because that's what I want for all of you. I want you guys to get the interviews, but I'm realizing that you need me more and more as you're getting these callbacks, and I cannot take on more mentorships in the traditional way, but I think I do have a way for us to work together if you want me on call for your interviews as they're rolling in for you. And I'm going to do an introductory price at $945. And this is until you get a job or 1 year or up to 1 year. So basically until the end of 2026. So you and I can basically work together, be on call, and it'll just keep me at the interview level. So you're going to keep me out of, obviously you can come here, we can do job application labs. I simply cannot take on more weekly meetings on a one-on-one basis, but I can meet with people as needed, whether it's for the masterclass, whether it's for workshops, whether it's for speaking conferences, as well as for interview prep. So that's my compromise, and I hope you guys are happy with that. You will be hearing more about it, and I'm going to be putting it up on the website today, but it's called the Hired Mini Mentorship, and it's $9.45, and then it'll go up to $12.95 in the new year. So you have a month to decide if you feel like this interview prep mentorship is right for you, and you'll see the details on the website very soon. So that's my big news and unveiling, and I hope that's worth it for you to consider, because I don't want to leave you guys hanging. My goal is to get you guys hired, but I know I'm one person. Oh, and I also I'm getting 2 interns. So I'm getting 2 interns to help me with pushing out the information that I'm still pushing out, but then also helping me with engagements and doing more conferences and stuff. And I want to get out more in 2026. So I have some interns who are going to be helping me. All of this to say that I feel like this hired mini mentorship is a good compromise to make sure that you guys are still supported in all of this. Do you have any idea when you might reopen the full mentorship? Great question, Amanda. I'm hoping that April might be a good time. I usually open it up in April because it is Public Health Week, National Public Health Week. But I don't know if April is still too far for you. I do have a couple, with that said, I do have a couple mentees who are in the reference check period. So they don't have an offer yet, but they are they are in the reference checks. So I may be willing to open up the mentorship to those of you who are telling me like, no, I need this. Like, I can't wait until April. But to be honest, I feel much better letting all of you just know that I'm available for interview prep at a much more affordable price, because as you can hear, some of you are getting traction just from what I'm teaching you. Like, you don't need the one-on-one, but you do need more one-on-one for that interview prep. So, thinking of like Sandra, for example, I don't want to leave Sandra hanging if, like you keep getting interviews and you're just like, I still don't get it. Or Nicholas, who is also trying to figure out, like, I feel like I'm kind of getting it. But like, there's just something that's not clicking. And that's what I want to make sure I'm helping you guys catch, is that final leg, just that last, leg of this employment process. And I'll help with like assignments. Like, it's until you get that offer, but it's for interviews only. So it's if you're actually getting the traction. Okay, so I will drop that information on the website, and you guys can ping me if I have to make the announcement to the mentorship wait list, because they're the ones who really are waiting for this. But I know some of you are also on that wait list, so kind of gently letting you all down that in a good way, the mentorship is in demand, but people have been getting in front of the line from those of you who are on the wait list. And so in the meantime, consider this alternative. And if this is still not right for you, then yes, we can keep in touch when the mentorship will come back. I hope that's a good compromise.
The mini mentorship, you said you're gonna put it up by the end of the month?
Oh no, I was gonna do it right now, but I don't want to fiddle.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
it's ready to look at.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll make
'Cause
sure.
I might be up for that depending on how this interview goes.
Yeah, and and you have like the month to decide if you want to jump on. So maybe you want to see how it goes for a couple weeks, and then if
Okay.
you're like, yeah, I need to do this. But yeah, this is a good, like, we'll work together until you get the job. So for me, I want to
Yeah.
make sure that as your interviews are rolling in, you're not like, okay, great, what now?
Yeah.
So yeah,
The cool thing about this interview that I have coming up is it feel like it fits. Like I'm not worried, I'm not stressed. Like it just feels like it fits compared to like some of the other interviews I've been on. I think because a large part of it is my background in communications. And the other ones were just kind of like, I've never really truly had experience specifically like, I think I applied for like mental wellness kind of stuff and some other things that just were totally opposite direction.
oh,
So
I see.
I think this is the universe's way, I think, of looking out for me. So
No, I love it. Yeah.
But yeah,
And if
everything
anything,
just kind
again,
of feels like it fits.
and if anything, Nicholas, this is practice, 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 so that
Yeah,
you know what to
absolutely.
do. You know what you're doing for the next
Yeah.
rounds. Yeah.
The
Okay.
103 really helps for sure. So
Yes. And I like that I broke it up into two parts so that you can kind of see the principles and then like, what does this mean now? And then, so yeah. Yeah. Well, that's all I have for you guys. I mean, I'm gonna try to keep you up to date as much as I can with any other changes. Was there anything else? Oh yeah, giveaways.